Good day. Today's episode is on coherence and cohesion. Coherence and cohesion relate to the way paragraphs or sentences contained within a paragraph flow together. It talks about the cleaving together of paragraphs, how they relate to each other, how they interdepend on each other, how the flow of information contained within them goes about. We are going to be doing exercises together which will further illustrate coherence and cohesion. Coherence and cohesion can be used interchangeably. What they mean simply is the cleaving together, the clinging together of paragraphs, how paragraphs or sentences come about and how they make sense in the way they follow each other. So our first paragraph exercise will be this one. It has the following note. This section tests your ability to see logic and order. The sentences in the paragraph have been scrambled intentionally, and you have to use your knowledge about logical connectors, as also called cohesion devices or discourse markers, to indicate the correct order into which the sentences should be placed for the paragraph to make sense. So basically, these exercises are so interrelated and linked to our previous exercise, which was logical connectors. It will be easier for you to see which one goes first in a scenario where you have a sentence which starts with a logical connector. For example, you may have a sentence starting with, first of all, the BMW is the fastest car in the German-made cars. In that example, already the first of all is a logical connector. It serves to tell you that this sentence is starting to explain something by the first of all. So in these exercises, be cautious to see those logical connectors, but be careful because for some of them, they won't be starting a paragraph. They'll be starting points within a paragraph. And some won't be concluding a paragraph, but they'll be concluding the points contained within a paragraph. Let's start. Which one of these is first? This one will be first. Let me just hold it up. Yes. So we've invented the next big thing. It's revolutionary, it's cheap to make, and everyone will want to put it on the market. This first sentence gives us the main idea. This person is talking about inventing something and wants to put it on the market. And then, which one follows next? C, no, B, D has to follow next. But wait a minute. Before you can start with the production lines, rolling, you have to go to protect it from someone else who thinks your idea will make them a fortune too. You see, this idea is still linked to the main idea. It's linked to the main idea. It is still furthering the main idea. Which one will come? Yes, this one. You see this one? Here's our logical connector. The first thing you need to do before you start dreaming about the millions you can make, you have to protect it by patenting it. This sentence follows after this one. And then we move on to the next one. The next one has to be this one. Why? It contains patenting. Patenting, we've already mentioned it before. So it is giving perhaps reasons or illustrating patenting, which has become apparent in our paragraph. So the reason to patent your intention is to give the owner, which is you, the exclusive right to commercially exploit the invention for the life of the patent, which is usually 20 years. Then ultimately, C is the one that we haven't used. It has to be the last, logically. When you have finally patented your new masterpiece, you will be the only lucky one that will be able to benefit from it. See, it also has a logical connector there, which is finally. It becomes easy when there are logical connectors contained within. So our first is B, our second is D, our third is E, our fourth is A, and our last is C. So let's move on to the next exercise that we have, which is scrambled text B. The sentences in the following paragraph do not follow in a logical order. Rearrange them into a coherent paragraph. Make the correct order on the multiple choice card. Here are our sentences. Be careful to get the main idea. First, our main idea will be African governments share some responsibility for bad biosafety laws and for allowing external pressures to influence sovereign processes. This sentence is giving us the main idea, and hence it precedes every other paragraph, every other sentence in our paragraph. The next will be the lack of adequate biosafety capacity in Africa is also widely acknowledged as a major problem, making it easy for foreign technical expertise to be brought in and unduly influence the process. Now, it talked about external influences, external pressures, and the next paragraph here has given us foreign technical expertise, which is a foreign influence. So now, be careful. Consequently, external influences in the domestic regulatory issues may be met with stiff resistance in the future. See, in this paragraph, consequently is not concluding our paragraph. It is concluding our points contained within the paragraph, because we still have 2 more left. Nevertheless, Africa has some biosafety expertise and capacity that should be developed for national and regional biosafety process. Remember, nevertheless is a discourse marker, consequently is a discourse marker. So it becomes easy for you to see here. Here we say C follows D because logic will dictate that you can't go on the other hand without first mentioning the other hand. So we have to first be done with the bad part of the bad biosafety capacity in Africa, and then we move on to the brighter side, the good part of it, which is Africa has some biosafety expertise and capacity that should be developed for national and regional biosafety processes. Apart from such development, African civil society is also becoming much more involved in the generally modified GM debate. You see, this is the other hand. Let's move on to our next exercise, which is scrambled text C. One of the skills is the ability to read actively and to identify main points. Okay, in this paragraph, you have to browse through all your sentences before you make your paragraph so that you get the main idea. So here, if you browse through, you'll realize that it is talking about summary writing. And hence, our first main idea or our first sentence to start our paragraph will be, effective summary writing requires students to employ numerous skills. One of the skills is the ability to read actively to identify the main points. Then the points should be paraphrased in a concise manner to shorten the original piece. Students should also avoid using illustrative examples in their summary. When you are satisfied, the final presentation should be made in a coherent paragraph. Sorry about that. In a coherent paragraph using appropriate transitional signals. This one is pretty much easy. By you starting with the main idea, already you know that we're going to be talking about the numerous skills which are required for you to have effective summary writing abilities. And hence, our first paragraph gives us, our first sentence, gives us the main point, which is that. Then the next gives us one of the skills. The other one further explains the skill of identifying main points. Then the other one tell us about what you should be cautious not to do. And then the last one, it has the final. The final there serves to tell you that ultimately you're coming to an end. So basically, when it comes to coherence and cohesion, you have to identify sentences or paragraphs in a piece of writing. First, it will always be the paragraph which contains the main idea. Next will be the paragraph which develops or supports the main idea. Other paragraphs will become ancillary to all these paragraphs, and they will serve a different purpose which is linked, interrelated to the main idea, the supporting paragraph, the developing paragraph, and so forth. Ultimately, when you read your work, it will be understandable, coherent, and it will have cohesiveness. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day.